everybody. Welcome back to another episode. We are now in episode 2 of season 2, and today is going to be a very fun episode because we have a special guest joining us today.
Welcome back, everyone. My special guest today is actually my own mother, Amara Houston here. Go ahead and say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, she's actually the reason we were watching the title movie today. Today we'll be talking about The Lost Boys, which is
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I have to fact check that.
but they saw it pretty much when they first came out, and she was recommending it to us, so we all sat down and watched it together, and it was phenomenal.
Such a good movie.
It came out in 1987 is when it came out.
Yeah, July 31st of 1987. And man, can I just say that this movie has the greatest song ever known to the history of mankind, at least in my opinion. Like Cry Little Sister, banger, absolute banger.
Absolutely amazing.
best theme song to a movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah. Isn't it its own standalone song as well? That was kind of.
Yeah, I believe when I was doing research on the movie, I believe that they actually wrote the song for the movie. Like they actually wrote the song for the movie, and at the time it peaked at number 15, I believe, on the Billboard Top 200 chart. And despite appearing on the film's soundtrack, the lyrics did not specifically reference vampires, as it was composed before the guy who wrote it actually saw any footage from the film. So it was just completely based off of like a blind thing.
Yeah, they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, they did fantastic. And apparently Marilyn Manson even covered it back in 2018, so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Now, this film is set in a fictional town, Santa Carla, in California.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. So there's a lot of surf culture around. It's right on a boardwalk. There's a lot of scenes of the boys walking around on that boardwalk.
Wasn't it filmed in Santa Cruz, but they just kind of switched the name because they're like, oh, we don't want to be called the murder capital of the world. Can you just not
directly call it the murder capital? It looks like it was filmed originally in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I think it was, but I was like, we can't. No, you can't slander our good name of Santa Carla with your murdery hot vampire boys. We gotta fix that crap. Don't do it. Like, sorry, sexy vampires is too much for us. You got to change the name, buddy.
How was your when you originally saw the film for the first time, Mom? How did you really feel about it? Like, how was it compared to some of the other vampire films you've seen?
I liked it. I thought it was very impactful regarding some of the other stuff that I'd seen. Honestly, I think the movie still stands up today, and I think that based upon the cinematography and some of the stuff that they use, it just feels so real in it. As far as other vampire movies, I don't know. I love all the classics, so it's a little bit different. I think it kind of stands on its own. But it has a uniqueness to it. It seems so realistic. It gives it a more realistic, like it could really happen.
Yeah, it has a more modern vibe to it compared to a lot of the old classic vampire movies.
Yeah, where they wear that tuxedo with the red bow tie or whatever.
It still stands by a lot of old vampire traditions, like needing to be invited inside, holy water hurting them.
Yes,
yeah.
I like that they kind of stuck with that. Some of those kind of like old mythos or whatever with the inviting them in, that garlic, and you just never know. The twist of who the main vampire was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, watching the movie, I didn't even know until then that's who it was.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Did you have any inkling that it would have wound up being him, Ashley?
Well, the only thing that I could really think of, well, not really, what I thought was super, super cool, and I didn't really notice it until I thought about it later on, is the head vampire. His name was Max, right? I think that was his name.
Yeah, I think it was Max.
I guess he was the romantic interest of Sam and Michael's mother, whose name is Lucy. I feel like and I thought it was interesting because Lucy is also the name of the girl who is Dracula's first victim in Bram Stoker's novel Dracula.
That is true. That is true.
I think it was really cool.
So they kind of had like woven some of the other ones, like the Bram Stokers and all that other stuff, kind of pulled it into that movie but modernized it.
And I heard a lot of inspiration for how these vampires behave, and kind of a little bit of it because the film's called Lost Boys. They kind of takes a bit after Peter Pan,
Yeah,
like Max referring to his vampires as his boys. Their like relentless youth. Well, a lot of the things it links back to Peter Pan.
supernatural flight form, like that kind of forms the basis of like the entire vampire mythos, you know. And also, it's a super '80s movie. Like it's just
Oh, very.
super '80s.
I liked that they didn't glamorize the vampires. They
Yeah,
didn't make them so, sometimes like I'll just throw out Twilight there. That's a glamour, making it all good and cute and stuff. I like that these guys were rough and they kind of just came off the street or they picked them off of wherever and brought this group together. But I liked that they were not glamorized. Sometimes it's one of my favorites. I guess I can even compare to the movie a little bit to Fright Night. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Maybe a little bit.
I've heard of it right now. I just haven't seen it personally yet.
It's pretty good, but that the vampires kind of glamorized in that one a little bit. But it just in comparison, I really like Lost Boys more because it has this element in it that blends so well. It has a comedic element where you have the Frog Brothers.
Yeah. They balance.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Yes, so this is why this movie stands on its own for me because a lot of vampire movies they're always one way or the other. It's either glamorized or it's just completely I'm going to murder everything and be completely bad. There's never really a good middle ground, and this movie found that middle ground of bringing comedy. I mean, Corey Feldman and what is it, Corey Haim? They're
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Corey's.
Those
The
two
Coreys.
got paired together a lot after this movie, from what I
Yeah.
remember.
They became really good friends. I researched. If I found out that they became really, really, really good friends after the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the bigger things that I thought I really was like, you guys got to watch this because I knew that it had both of those elements in it and that it was really worth seeing. And again, it stands up today. It still is a great movie.
I did like the fact that they continued to make vampires not savory. They wanted to make them something you still would be terrified to be around.
Oh, for sure. They did it really well. For sure, they did it really well. Because it's and I feel like it's knowing the director, because I know Joel Schumacher. I've seen a bunch of his films, and I'll get into it a little bit. But he was when I was researching, he apparently was super adamant that the people playing the vampires had to be this very attractive young man, and they needed the makeup to be like an amalgamation of sexy and monstrous combined together. And I think that legitimately works really, really well. Because in an odd twist, it looks like the vampires are supposed to be like a cross between angels and demons, kind of. So it's being like a 50-50 of supposedly trying to represent the innocence of the teenager's youth, but also the sordid path that they've gone down. So I feel like it's really, really, it works really well.
I think so too.
Yeah, it works very well.
Yeah. But Joel Schumacher is really a cool guy because he directed St. Elmo's Fire, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and he also directed the 2004 Phantom of the Opera, which makes a lot of sense.
Which is another one of my personal favorite films. I like that version of Phantom especially. It's one of my.
I love that.
I go back and watch it every so once in a while.
It's such a good movie, though.
Amazing soundtrack, of course.
And I want to see. Yeah. I heard there's other Lost Boys movies out. Excuse me, other Lost Boys movies. There's like a 2 and a 3. I really want to see those. I think we should really watch those because I think they bring the Coreys back in the second installment.
Oh, sweet.
That was, and I'm curious as to what type of music they'll have. Oh, of course, we can't forget Epic Sax Man.
Oh yeah, we can't forget him. With the
Tim
giant
Capello,
shade.
my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. But I really love this movie. I like that it was, and also the end. The end of the movie. I mean, when you're, oh my God, you can't even.
He chucks that grandpa just backs up in his own house, fires
I
that tire
love
stake.
the
You're like,
end of the movie.
yes.
Can we
And just
talk?
simply says, it's just the simple enough. I can never stomach all the damn vampires. Like it's just an ordinary
The
thing.
entire fucking
Like he
time.
already knew.
Yeah.
But okay, I gotta say, my favorite character in the movie, hands down, Grandpa. Like he is by far
Oh,
the weirdest character in the movie. Like literally, his introduction in the film is him laying dead on a porch.
yeah. I wonder how long he was laying there waiting for people. Because I've done shit like
Hey,
that
I'm gonna
before, where
get
I've tried
these
to
guys this time.
and I'm just laying there, and it feels like hours. You ever do
Hours.
that? Where you're like sitting there waiting to prank someone, and then it feels like they
Yes.
take fucking forever to get there.
You're like, all right, already. I love now. There's a scene in there in the movie. It gets away from the vampiristic type of view, but I guess it's like right when there's kind of something happening. The brother, but when one of the brothers, the younger brother, is in the bathtub and he's got his dog Nanook with him, and he's singing that one song at a high pitched voice.
Yeah.
That was so
Oh my
fun.
God, I love it. It was just fun and cute and.
Plus, anything involving the Frog Brothers was just hilarious.
Oh my God, their comic shop. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love a good comic book? I know I love comics.
Oh
I
yeah.
love the Frog Brothers because they're just such nerds. They're such goofy kids, and I love it so much. It makes
Now, was
every time that they're on screen is like a memorable moment. It's perfect.
that their comic shop they owned, or was it
I
the
think
like
it
Max's comic
was.
No, it
shop?
was theirs.
No, because remember Max was like the video store. I think it was like the video store, and
Yeah,
then
he had the video
Toys
store.
had the comic store.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they made nerds cool. They're like the nerdy, like uh D&D player kind of comic book thing, like I like that they made that cool.
They were the only ones who knew how to survive the actual vampires. Well, kind of.
They did it through the comic book survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did a good job.
In fact, that bit about the Hounds of Hell, specifically read out of that Dracula comic book, was how they first got the inkling that Max would be the lead vampire.
Because of Thorn, the
Yeah.
dog. Yeah.
Because Thorn went fucking buck wild when she tried to come over to his house.
True. She could. She got through the gate.
Yeah, and then the dog just charged at her.
Yeah.
About jumped through the fence to get her.
For like no reason when she had pet the dog before, I think.
Yeah.
And the dog was fine.
Yeah.
And then her trying to have a relationship with him, not even knowing that he's the head vampire, and then he finally bringing up the point that he wanted to bring the two families together and make it one big happy family.
Yeah. God, that reveal at the end where his face changes and it goes from him being very, very plausibly denied. I thought he was gonna say just be like, no, what are you talking about? And then he just turns back around, his face all messed up. He's like, I really wanted to do this professionally and things like that.
Yeah.
Where he all of a sudden dropped it. It was just, I love that reveal.
And I like the makeup in this movie too. The makeup is
so good,
really nicely done.
Well, phenomenally done.
Yeah, I really like it. I like that things just didn't look so fake or green screeny or the what is that? That footage going into the cave.
Yeah.
That was pretty darn awesome. Like back then they didn't have drones, really, did they? I don't think they did.
No,
No,
drones were
not in
recent.
'87. I don't think.
And they got some good footage like through the sea. They had to have like a helicopter or something fly in or whatever.
That was back in the days where helicopter photography and videography were a lot more popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they set up the cameras up on like rails to get different views of following the characters. I look at that stuff a lot because my brother, he's audiovisual specialist, and he went to school, and he kind of given me a really good appreciation, like a huge appreciation for the things that go down in making movies and what's good and what's not good, and I really liked that. Also, when watching the movie, it wasn't like all skippy. Like sometimes you'll see something where it's trying to adjust, it just seemed like everything fit together really
very,
well.
very smooth camera work.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but there's like so many cool scenes in this movie. Um, that are just really super cool. Like, I think one of my favorite scenes probably in the movie, was the, probably the beach scene. I don't know why. I thought it was really set up really well. Like, it's like they tried to avoid any cliches and just overall cheesiness, and they legitimately tried to make it super cool and unique, and I think they did very, very well with it.
And doesn't that scene also have the "People Are Strange" in the background by the Doors?
Cool, very strange. No, I think the People Are Strange montage was at the yeah, no, I think that was at the beginning of the film because okay, they had like the really weird montage in the beginning of the movie that had like the girl holding the rat, like the fake plastic dummy sitting on the skyride gondola just kind of going along the beach. Two dudes in the shopping cart pulling like a jackass like stunt, and like the guy that hit his head in a dunk tank. I don't know why, but
Yeah,
that's like best movie opening I've ever seen just because of how funny it is. I love it.
yeah. I do like that opening feature. But which beach scene were you talking about there? Because there's a whole lot of them.
Yeah, that's right. It's California. I should have specified. No, the beach scene where, like right after Michael's initiation as a vampire, like it's like, oh yeah, you know what? Your final stage here, man, is to eat innocent human beings, and they're just chilling in the tree, watching like the surf Nazis as they're
Oh,
credited in the film,
yeah. So
and they're just kind of like, all right, these guys, we're gonna eat these guys.
now,
That scene.
surf Nazi is a term I'm a bit unfamiliar with. I know there's a film, "Surf Nazis Must Die." Mom, do you know what the term "surf Nazi" means? Because I know you were previously a surfer.
They're kind of like the skinheads of surfing. They're also pretty rude.
Uh,
They're like the guys that try to own the beach.
they sound like pricks.
Yeah, they're. Of course, you don't necessarily have to be a surf Nazi to do that, but or you cut in on people's waves whether they like it or not or care about it or not.
So it's a very inconsiderate surfer.
Yes, it is. Pretty,
Yeah.
yeah, they're pretty nasty. I haven't had any run-ins with any of them during my surfing career, but there have been a like an asshole or two. You kind of have to show them a little bit. But yeah, that was another thing. I like the location that they set it at, and I like how they portrayed it because that's exactly what it looks like there. Like 100%, that's what it looks like.
That's
It,
cool.
and it looks so like it was set in a town where something could really happen and that this is a real thing. That's what I
Yeah.
like a lot.
Yeah. The location is just prime. It fit into everything. And I also thought it was really interesting, kind of going bouncing off a little bit, but stay on topic. And have you both seen the movie Us by Jordan Peele?
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
Okay,
They're both
cool.
together.
Okay, cool. So this will make a lot of sense. So, in Us, there's actually a reference to Lost Boys, because Peel in an interview said that there's like because they have like in Lost Boys, you know, like they have like the boardwalk and the guys are at the carousel. In Us, there is a boardwalk in Santa Monica in the film, and the mom says, you know, they're shooting a movie right over there by the carousel. Jordan Peele specifically said that that was a reference to Lost Boys, and I think that's really, really cool that even to this day in modern movies that it's making references.
Oh yeah.
I never even caught that.
Yeah, it's that little part where the young, the person who becomes the mother.
Yeah.
In the rest of the series, she's walking along younger, where she finds the first time she sees that door. Remember?
Yeah.
She's walking around in that carnival, and that's the bit where her mother's like, "Hey, they're shooting a movie over there."
That's so bizarre. How did I not pick up on that?
But I think that's really cool how basically Us and the Lost Boys are basically taking place in the same time period. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, this movie is a huge classic. It's also a cult classic. A lot of people watch it still to this day. I
Mm-hmm.
know my brother watches it. I'll watch it over and over again. There's always something new that you're going to see in it too.
Now, this
Yeah.
seems like it was kind of the first movie in a lot of movies to kind of make vampires like shift away from the older, kind of ganglier vampires and turn them more into like hot teens.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. And again, I like the rough around the edges, hot teen look.
Yeah.
It kind of was right there within the time period of what everybody would like.
Yeah.
But it was I don't know. I really love this movie. It's,
In researching a little bit about this film, I found out originally it was actually meant to be a kids' movie, focusing a lot more on the Frog Brothers and not having any scenes of Michael at all.
really?
Yeah, it was going to be pretty
Yeah.
much Goonies, like a lot
Yeah, it's
like
basically
Goonies.
like the Goonies inspired piece, I believe. Yeah.
And I know that in the kind of blend when they started blending the two scenes together, the what is it the studio kept sending the director, Mr. Schumacher, there. They kept trying to ask him whether he was filming a comedy or a horror because they didn't. It wasn't very common to mix any sort of genre like that.
Correct. It is not.
Yeah. They kept asking him, "Are you filming a comedy or are you filming a horror movie?" And apparently, he sent one of the messengers back to tell him to just say yes.
Whatever you I do think that the movie had a bit of a Goonies feel, especially with that Frog Brothers, their dynamic that they had. I like the movie where, or the part in the movie where they team up and they go in the car and they're getting ready to like infiltrate the lair and kill the vampires and.
Oh, and they very terribly. I love how all of their attempts, despite being the most knowledgeable at about any vampire things, none of their attempts went well.
No, and they were like screaming and scared and flipping out.
Not to mention their completely harebrained attempted to, instead of figure out which one might be the head vampire, they just stake the smallest one that they find.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just staking away anyone that they can.
And the vampire, that one they staked, his name was Marco. That one, who was he played by? It was the guy who plays
Alex Winter.
I think it was Billy Wyrd.
No, it was Alex Winter.
Alex Winter.
Oh,
yeah.
Alex Winter. He is in Bill and Ted's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pre-Keanu Reeves partnership.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Which I thought was super neat.
Yeah.
So I don't know of him in anything else that I've ever seen. I probably have.
Yeah, just those two movies specifically.
Yeah, I think that those are the only ones.
Wait, Alex Winter?
Yeah, I think Alex Winter. I don't think his career went too much further.
Yeah, I've seen him in a few movies over the years, not too much. I've seen him obviously in like the one Bill and Ted movie I've seen. He was in like recent Blue's Clues movie. He was in Smosh the movie, which I thought was really fucking funny. He was also in a few Ben 10 movies, but that's about it that I've seen.
Interesting. It looks like he also was in a Broadway production of Peter Pan with Sandy Duncan.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome because Sandy Duncan she's really awesome.
Yeah.
I like her.
That's really weird because isn't The Lost Boys once again like based off of Peter Pan?
Yeah, partially inspired by Peter Pan.
Actually.
So everything's starting to come together a little bit, yeah.
I wonder if they thought of him specifically because of his work in with casting in that Broadway play.
I could see it.
Yeah.
It could have been, truly.
I could definitely see it.
Yeah, another thing that I thought about, like the that was really neat, specifically about like the kind of like the genre of The Lost Boys, is it seemed to be all of these different types of movies in one without making it obvious. Because especially looking at it, the different types of people will probably get different messages and different levels of enjoyment out of the movie. Like you have the relationship between the Frog Brothers that kind of plays into like that Goonies aspect, and then you also have the relationship between Michael and Sam, the brothers. Their relationship's also super similar as well. And then you have, obviously the vampires are in there, so it makes it like a movie, but like a horror-ish movie with vampires. But it's just there's so much stuff that the movie accomplishes in just flawlessly. Like it's not pushed too much, and I think that's really, really cool, and that's really good on them because that stuff's usually not easy to do.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And the blending of the comedy with the horror.
That's easy to mess up.
It is, but I don't honestly, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know of any other movie that blends the two seamlessly like this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think there is one. Is there another comedy
I can't really
horror?
think of anything.
Oh well,
Yeah.
probably like the Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2
Yeah.
is kind of a decent blend, but it's still pretty campy.
Yeah, it's really campy. This one is definitely not campy at all.
Evil Dead plays into its campiness, though. It's kind of its identity.
Like Dave and Tucker, maybe that's campy.
Yeah, Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, that's the only real film I could really think of that actually does it. Like the comedy and horror duo.
Yeah, I think this one felt more theatrical, more not campy.
It kept its pacing well as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Pacing is a very big nitpick I have when it comes to movies because it's also very easy for pacing to absolutely drag a movie's enjoyment down for me.
Yeah.
This had no dragging scenes, honestly. I can't think of really any that were like, come on, hurry up.
Everything felt worthwhile to the plot, just even like the little bits of like just exploring the house, little bits walking around town. Everything felt like it meant something to the plot.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love the grandfather, how they opened up that one room and he's like a taxidermist.
Yeah, it's Texas Chainsaw inspired room.
Yes, and it has that red light cast on everything to make it look as evil as possible.
Yeah,
Even though it could be brightly lit if you want it to be.
Yeah, that was super.
And then he kept giving the kid a new, what is it, a new stuffed animal every time.
He kept shoving remember those just the what?
Yeah.
An owl?
Yeah. He just kept jamming stuff in his room.
It's like, so, and wasn't he at like one point? It's like, Mom, help me! Grandpa's scaring me. Like, Mommy, please help! I don't like this.
I've heard there's a little bit of a fan theory that the grandpa might actually be a almost sort of vampire. People have mentioned, specifically just because of his specific red drink that he won't let anyone else have.
I didn't catch on to that.
Dang.
People
But-
have speculated that that might just be blood.
Yeah, cool. Interesting. But then again, James, you have to realize this is also the same guy who had like a shelf in his fridge labeled "old farts" and read the TV guide for fun without owning a TV. And then also, like the movie, Sam and Michael carry Star and Laddie unconscious into the house. He doesn't even care. He's like, whatever, I'm out.
He's a very. I've met people like him. I've definitely met the type of person, the type of older person that would totally read the TV guide for fun.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, and
another car, we're good.
I liked also, you know how they do that floating thing for vampires, like they're flying or whatever?
Yeah.
I like how they made that comedic.
Yeah.
They didn't like make it all serious. It was comedic in a way.
In a way.
Yeah.
Especially Michael's first attempt at it, where he's floating around begging his brother to let him in.
Oh yeah. And then he's sleeping or whatever, and then he just wakes up on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I thought it was really, really neat how they filmed like the scenes where like the flying vampires attack like the innocent people. I think it was really cool how they did that from the point of view of the vampires themselves rather than not that, because I feel like it would have probably looked a little goofy. But that's just me.
I feel like that was probably the best option they had with the technical limitations they had at the time.
Yeah.
Not trying to film the vampires dragging people off, but instead letting you imagine it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did show a lot of bloody scenes and
Oh god, all the kills in that movie are incredibly bloody.
I loved the one where God, what was it? Yeah, like what I noticed? When the Frog Brothers stabbed Alex Winter, I can't remember the actual character's name, but just Alex Winter. When they stabbed him, his blood just it was Marco, wasn't it? Thank you, hon. Yeah, when they stabbed Marco, like he kind of exploded, and then
the arterial
glittery blood.
everywhere.
I thought that was super cool.
Glittery blood.
Yeah. Which I think that I feel like that probably inspired like Twilight. Because aren't the vampires sparkly in that movie? I don't know. I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, their whole shtick is they sparkle in the sunlight instead of burning.
Insides. I don't know.
Oh, and I think they did use like the cross or something in it that burnt holy water.
Yeah.
The holy water that they were filling up at the church. Oh my God!
That scene where they just busted on an active communion.
Yes,
Just
they didn't even care. They just stuck their stuff right in there, and then they were filling the bathtub up and putting holy water in it.
I just thought about it. Didn't they grab like a little bottle kind of to fill up the thing for the holy water? They had an entire bathtub later in the movie. So
Yes.
I like to think that they just kept coming back and filling up this bottle, just dumping it in the tub. I feel like that's something that they would do.
yeah.
The super soakers.
That one, yeah, the filling it with super soakers. That actually worked pretty well.
It was fantastic. I loved it.
They pulled out all the stops for that one. That was really good.
All of the vampire deaths were impressive in that movie.
Yeah, like the one in the tub, that was really, really cool. The guy that had death by stereo, that one was awesome.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that was
That was
cool.
probably my
Especially-
favorite death. That was so good.
I really like the bathtub kill, just because of the fact that the dog pushed him in.
Yeah, and the
Everyone,
Nook did it.
Yeah. Yeah, Nanook pushed him in. I thought it was really cool. He helped out a little bit.
He
And
did.
then I do like how they showed when the lead vampire, not the main vampire, but the lead one,
Like
the
David, I think was his
Kiefer
name.
Sutherland one, when he got impaled, that it showed him going back to younger. Like
Yeah.
it gave him a much younger look.
Yeah, like it started kind of draining him a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had that fight in the air.
Oh yeah, the whole
In the,
vampire duel.
yeah, in the cabin.
That
Of the
must have been
house.
a bitch to film with those wires.
Oh yeah, that had to have been.
Yeah, I thought it was just because I remember, closer to like the beginning of the movie, where the Frog Brothers said that all vampires never die the same way. It's always different. They definitely did showcase that because at the end,
Oh, yeah.
when they were doing the final scenes from the movie, no vampire died the same. They were all died in different ways, and I thought that was really super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it changed things up a bit. I like that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, you actually remember what you guys said. You stuck to your word. Good job, guys. But yeah, I remember.
Effects and everything are great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I remember that Jason Patrick, who plays Michael in the film, actually didn't originally want to be in the movie. He's like, I don't want to be in a genre movie. I don't want to do that crap. And he only agreed. Yeah, he only agreed because they originally promised him that he wouldn't be in any goofy makeup. I think that they kind of didn't, keep their word with that.
Well, the makeup looked good in that one though.
They did, but I think I heard that I don't know what happened. He either left or he almost left production, but after, filming that scene, he got really, really pissed because like, hey, you lied to me. I don't appreciate that, fam.
But you said it was Jason Patrick that got irritated over it?
Yeah, Jason Patrick, who's the guy who plays Michael. Which, if you don't know who his father is Jason Miller, who plays Father Karras in The Exorcist. I thought that was really
What?
Okay.
Mhm. I thought that was super interesting.
That is really interesting. That movie, The Exorcist, not to get off topic, I'm gonna tell you that is the scariest movie ever. Period.
Oh, that's terrifying. Oh my god.
That was my very first horror movie that I saw, and I made a mistake when I watched it because
Yeah.
I was watching it through. I was peeking through the bars of the stairway. I was staying up late, and my parents didn't know that I was watching it with them, and yeah, that scared the bejeepers out of me. I couldn't sleep forever.
Dang. I didn't even get to finish the movie. It was I just never got a chance to finish it because of timing, and I'm so mad that I didn't get to. But like the what I did see of it, oh my god, that's terrifying. But it's a really good movie. But oh my god, was it scary?
It is.
A movie I had a similar experience with when I was younger. I was over at a friend's house staying up late, and they like to put on horror movies to go to sleep. And I was pretty young. I had never really watched any horror movies.
Oh
And
no.
Planet Terror was playing. And
Wait, which one?
Scene, Planet Terror. It's a
I
part of the
don't think I've
Grindhouse
ever heard
movies.
that one, actually.
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
Tarantino. Was
Yeah,
it?
Tarantino.
It's
Bloody.
Yeah, it's two Tarantino films that are together. It's Death Proof and Planet Terror are part of the Grindhouse movies. They're shown back to back. And
Okay.
Planet Terror has a scene in there. This is the thing that made me terrified of horror for a long time. I didn't want to touch it for a while. Was there's a bit where a lady's car breaks down on the side of the road. And it should be worth knowing Planet Terror is a zombie movie. And she's walking along the road trying to find someone to help her get her car back working. And she just gets tackled by a zombie and just starts ripping her guts out of her stomach, like throwing them behind him. And
Yeah.
she's sitting there screaming, and watching that made me not want to touch horror for a long time.
Look at you now.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah, and now you're over here doing a pog face at the head crushing scene from Toxic Avenger. Hey, as long as it's not the that one scene from Midsommar, I'm good, y'all. The gore in that movie is fantastic, but oh my god, that one scene, ooh, I'm good.
All of Ari Aster's films are amazing and very, very good at making you uncomfortable.
Hereditary got me, dude. That movie scared the shit out of me. Oh god.
Remember Midsommar?
Oh my god, I'm not ever watching that again.
No, the movie is fantastic, minus that one scene.
Oh, that whole movie was just a mind screw. What was that other movie?
But I hate the
Hereditary. Oh, no way.
Hereditary's fucked me up. That movie's crazy.
Both of those movies, like, oh my god, why?
We'll have to do a episode specifically on Hereditary, because I think that is probably my favorite recent horror movie to date.
Oh, so good. Oh my god. Yeah. And what's her name? Toni Collette. Oh my god, she's a phenomenal actress. Holy crap.
Oh yeah. It's funny though, that was the mother, right?
Yeah, she was the mother. She was awesome. Oh my god.
It's interesting that she hadn't really done horror previously.
No, never.
She had done rather lighthearted roles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, both those movies are bad mind screws. I could not, after seeing Midsommar, I was like, okay. And then, of course, James plays it for everybody else that comes over, and I'm like, do I have to really see this movie again? So it just messes me up all over again. So I just sit there and try to sleep through that.
Midsommar is a fantastic movie, just not the the snuggling scene, which I don't think that even counts as that anymore. That's not even close.
Oh boy.
Is there even such a thing in that movie?
Yeah, no, there's no snuggles. There's no snuggles. It's only really yeah. You know what? I'm so I don't even know if I should get into it. It's stupid, but I'm like, okay, so they have like some weird cuss. I know that's not the movie we're talking about today, but there's like a weird scene, and I'll try to make this nice. So there's a specific scene in Midsommar where they're at a dinner table, and they have lemonade or something.
The what potion?
The bitch, the big guy, the big bitch. I don't remember his name. I hate him. But his lemonade is a little bit more on the pink side. He had pink lemonade, my guys. But then later is the snuggle scene. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not like I'm a medical student or anything, But if you have your period, I'm assuming that you have to wait a little bit for ovulation to happen. So I don't think that she was pregnant at that point. But I digress. I'm gonna drop that.
Yeah, that's not quite the movie we're talking about at the moment.
No, but I don't know. I was just like, whatever. We get
a little off track here.
Yeah. We always get off track on this channel. It's nothing new.
It's all right. That's all right. It happens.
Hey, besides, hey, at least Luna's not with us. Then it really goes downhill.
It was way off track.
Way off track.
But yeah, I really love Lost Boys, and there are other classics out there that I'm sure that I have a little laundry list for you guys to watch.
Now, this was a big one on there for a while.
Yeah, I had said, you gotta watch it, please watch it. And then when you finally watch it, you're like, that's a damn good movie.
I put it off for a while just because of the name. I thought it was going to be way more like talking about Peter Pan.
No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
And Peter Pan is not exactly one of my favorite IPs. I just personally, it's not really one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
It's not mine either. I mean, I've watched a couple different variations
Yeah.
of the Peter Pan, including Disney and stuff like that, but I never latched onto that sort of thing.
And the original author of the book is kind of strange. If you've ever read anything about
Yeah.
him,
Oh, I
He's a
know.
little
with his
cuckoo.
really close relationship with those boys.
That's a little freaky.
Yeah. It's it's unknown whether or not he ever did anything illegal involving that, but he had an uncomfortably close relationship with two adoptive boys. And both of those boys later in their lives wound up committing suicide.
Oh no.
And that's usually not a, you know,
Good
decent
thing.
sign of things that happened.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
But those are all alleged. It's not confirmed anything ever happened, but it just still makes me not very comfortable.
Yeah. But what does make me comfortable? Oh, I still find it really funny how like you play into the sexy aspect, the sexy vampires. We also have, I guess, I don't know, is he like the celebrity of the town or something? We have Tim Capello, and all of his heavily oiled bodybuilder physique and his long ponytailed and his sax.
Yeah.
The Sax Man.
The sax man. He's up there putting on the greatest show I've ever seen. He's just going at it. I love that scene just because it's funny. It's perfect. It falls into scene perfectly.
I wish I could have attended that concert in person. That
I
shit was
know it.
awesome.
I'm so excited. And then not only that, but after watching the movie, it led to like a week-long search for Tim Capello on a specific like music covering
Oh,
TV
was it
show. That
top
was so
10
fun.
or something?
Top
Yeah, that
10
one TV
something.
show, the top 10, where it talks about any sort of ranking songs from certain eras, and he was on there as a guest speaker a couple times.
Yeah, we're trying to find it.
To this day, he still rocks the chain necklace.
Yeah.
He does. He's up there in all of his chainy glory.
He looks pretty similar too, still.
Yeah, he still looks about the same. Except for his hair, I think, is short.
Yeah, a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter now.
But he still rocks the chain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I can't remember. Well, okay. So, what would you guys say is your favorite character in the film, and then your least favorite character in the film?
I don't know. Do you want to go, James?
I think my favorite character was that lead vampire. What was his name there?
David?
David, yeah.
I think that was
really liked David's character. It was fun watching him. And especially that bit where he's messing with Michael by like screwing with the food that he's eating.
Ah,
I just really liked David's character throughout the whole film. It was interesting watching him. It was interesting watching his final fight, and I really thought he was the lead vampire for a good majority of the film.
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm
They're
not
just
sure.
given like his demeanor and like how he is as a person. It's like, yeah, he looks suspicious, but they did really good covering his tracks. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I really have a least favorite character in this entire movie. All of them are really distinct characters and really fun to watch.
I like Sam. Sam was. I just liked how he rocked his role.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he portrayed it so well. Like the brother that was like, "Oh my God, why is this all happening to me?" sort of thing. Like the teen that's like, that's just like, "Oh my God, my life is coming to an end. Why here? Why now?"
Especially his reaction to finding out Michael's brother was a vampire. He's like, I knew it! You're a vampire! Wait until Mom finds out!
Right?
Yeah.
So he's just like, I'm gonna tell on you. Ooh. Yeah. And he's my favorite. And I don't know. I liked Corey Feldman, Edgar. I like the Edgar Frog. How he was. He's like, oh, this is the only way you could survive, type of thing.
Yeah. He's
I
a little
just
like
Rambo-esque
his dress style.
Oh yeah. He had the with a camouflage on and everything.
Bandana.
Like, he was really setting the part. And you know what? We can't forget Diane Wiest, the mom. Diane Wiest is one of my favorite actresses, right next to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh yeah.
And Diane Wiest is she's so down to earth. It's like a natural role for her. And I just love her. She's awesome. So I cannot forget her. She's another one of my favorites.
Wasn't she also in like Footloose and Edward Scissorhands? I think.
I know she was in
Edward
Scissorhands.
Scissorhands. She was in Parenthood. She was in. Let's see. She was in a lot of stuff.
She was in Robots as Mrs. Copperbottom?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's funny.
She's been in a lot of stuff, though. I'd seen her in Parenthood. She was great in that.
Independence Day.
Oh my god, really? Dang. Let's go.
Yeah, she has a pretty extensive filmography.
Dang.
But I like her. She plays a perfect mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's very good at playing that archetype. How about your favorite character, honey? Who'd you like?
My favorite character, I have to probably also go with Sam Emerson. He is such a cute little guy. I love him so much. He's so sweet. Like he's such a goofy little dude. Like he's just like a very, very cute little guy. Because he's cares about his brother. He's really goofy. He's like a dork completely. And just like what Mara was saying about him, like, being like having that dynamic with his brother. I was like, oh, like, instead of like, oh, you're a vampire. I gotta get away from him. He's like, oh, you're a vampire. Wait till I tell Mama on you nerd. Like, it's so funny. And then like the scene with him in the bathtub really sold it for me because he's just so flippin' cute. Oh my god, he's adorable.
I also really love his style of dress throughout the movie. It's all stuff I'd totally wear.
Oh, for sure.
And it matches the era perfectly. Whoever did the costume.
The costume design? Oh, yeah.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
They nailed all of it.
Yeah. I gotta say probably my least favorite character has to be probably like Star, though. I don't know. I don't really think she added too much to the story. She was just kind of a meh character in my eyes, but,
I think she just was added because they needed some sort of love interest to kind of pivot the story in a direction.
Yeah, they needed a bang buddy is what they needed.
The costume design is credited to Susan Becker.
Susan Becker. That name sounds familiar. Hang on.
She worked on True Romance as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Another Tarantino film. And Flatliners. Huh.
That's a Kiefer Sutherland movie.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder.
Huh.
She's done a lot of costume design. St. Elmo's Fire as well. Looks like she worked with Mr. Schumacher previously.
Yeah, quite a bit too. Dang. Look at that.
Pretty extensive.
For sure. Wow. Oh, apparently Lost Boys actually had some comics too, which is actually super fitting.
Had some what?
It had comics.
Oh, it had comics. Okay, I can see that totally getting a comic series.
There's two comics. Because they came in like one came in 2008 and the other one came in 2016.
I did not know that. I want those. I have to have them.
Yeah, it looks like both. Oh, they came out with the DC Comics published them. One of them is called Lost Boys: Reign of Frogs, and then let me see. The universe of the Lost Boys have also been explored further in comic book form as well as on screen. In 2008, a comic book miniseries called Lost Boys: Reign of Frogs was released, setting a story between the events of the original movie and Lost Boys: The Tribe. This 4-issue run by comics published Wildstorm saw the Frog Brothers continuing their vampire hunting adventures. Then in 2016, DC Vertigo published another Lost Boys comic which entirely disregarded the Reign of Frogs storyline and served as a direct sequel to the original movie.
I've just found a absolutely amazing picture from one of the comics of our sax friend absolutely smacking the hell out of a vampire over the head with his saxophone.
Oh, okay. I was like smacking him over the head with what exactly? Like his fist?
Yeah. That's amazing. I think
that's beautiful!
Isn't that amazing? I was like, oh my god, no way.
That's also,
Sac-
this is gorgeously drawn too. Holy shit. That's gorgeous.
I like that.
Damn.
Lost Boys. This one right here.
This one,
Steve.
yeah.
Oh, also, can we talk about the fact that never do a drinking game during this movie? Because, like, Michael, the word Michael, not Mike, not Mikey, Michael, is said so many times during this fucking movie. Like, I think when I was looking it up, it said like throughout like the film's entire like 98 minutes something, it was like Michael was said like 114 times.
What the
Yeah,
heck?
they address him by name a lot.
Michael.
Yeah, like
Michael.
Michael, don't leave me here.
Well, it looks like he's actually in a lot of the art. The saxophone man's in a lot of the artwork.
As he should be.
Gosh.
Didn't work.
Like,
There we go.
as he should be.
Check that out.
Oh yeah.
Look at him go! Hell yeah!
Epic Sax Man
His
is the
cane!
vampire
He
killer.
has his cane! Look at him go! Heck yeah! Look at you go, Sax Man!
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah! Look at him go!
Actually, he makes an appearance in the comics quite often.
Yeah.
He just is
the fact they actively attacked a vampire at one point.
he just is the main character at this point.
Let's see. Is there anything else anyone would like to discuss about this film?
I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to
Well,
think of anything.
we definitely, honestly, we have to watch number 2 and number 3.
And number 3, yes, that needs to be a homework.
Oh yeah.
That I'm assigning that as homework to us.
Yeah, fun homework. We love the fun homework.
I definitely want to see 2 because again, it brings back both the Coreys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's good seeing the Corey brothers in any film that I can possibly see him in. I do like seeing Kiefer Sutherland as well. I really like that actor a lot. It was good seeing him in Stand By Me as well.
He's a good actor. I actually, now this is going to sound really strange, but I used to work at this place called Warehouse Records and Tapes. And it's in California, and it was set on a corner area like of a strip mall, and it was like right on the end. And so many people came in, and we had a video area, and of course you had the music area, and we had CDs and stuff in there. Kiefer Sutherland, now this is really strange, his stunt double came in and rented movies.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Looks just like it. Obviously stunt double.
Yeah, stunt double.
But I met his stunt double.
That's pretty cool.
That's really sick.
And I didn't even know what to say to that guy. I'm like, you are, he's like, I'm not him. He goes, but I am a stunt double. Like, I didn't want to like raise like too much awareness in there, so people were like, woo, you know.
Yeah,
But
I had a similar incident kind of happen to me when Michael Berryman walked into the store that I was working at not too long ago because he was in town for the horror convention. Now, Michael Berryman is best known for his role as, I think, Pluto in The Hills Have Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also the Skull Cowboy in The Crow. And I saw him, I was talking with him, I was checking him out, and I waited until after the actual interaction happened and went, have you been in movies? He was like, I thought you were going to ask that. So we sat there talking for a little while. I kind of let the line pile up a little bit, but come on, I don't get this opportunity a lot. I kind of had to let him talk.
It must have been so fun, though. Just,
Yeah.
damn, I'm jealous, dude.
It was very interesting hearing a first-hand account of Brandon Lee, because he was very good friends with Brandon Lee throughout the production of The Crow. I think that might be his favorite film he's worked on.
that's pretty epic if you have a chance to do that, because those people aren't, he's not living anymore.
Yeah, so he was directly telling me about what happened that caused Brandon Lee to die. And he felt horrible about it. He really misses his friend.
Aww. Damn, that's sad.
Apparently, this is something I've read. Michael Berryman, when he was filming he was watching the movie The Hills Have Eyes, during that rather explicit scene, the sexual assault bit in there that happens by his character. A
Mhm.
lady in there said something along that he was sitting behind, said like, "This is absolutely sickening," and he apparently leaned down next to her and said, "Oh yeah, this is sick as hell."
Damn.
Imagine seeing this character on screen that you're terrified of doing this horrible act, and then the actual guy leans down next to you.
Okay, yeah.
That's creepy.
I like that he has a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, of course. We love
I
that.
think we have our homework cut out for us.
Yes, we do.
For sure we do. Oh, I found a little tidbit that's actually kind of interesting. So, Santa Cruz apparently was once actually plagued with a reputation of being like the actual murder capital of the world because of a series of like really very violent murders by like 3 different people in like the early 70s. And because of these 3 guys, Santa Cruz endured like 28 murders over like a 30-month period between 1970 and 1973.
Good lordy.
Santa Cruz and all those other places in California, like right around that area,
Mhm.
they're pretty well known for a lot of crime
Crime.
and bad things happening there. I mean, it's kind of almost, it's not like the projects or anything, but it's highly populated with a lot of people that are pretty seedy and just not, they're not good. A lot of criminals and stuff like that kind of populate the area.
Yeah.
But there's also really cool people. Honestly, you can sit down there and people watch all day long, and you'll never see. It's like craziness. You see all sorts of things from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Just like that opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah, you just have all these different people that just kind of go into how the town is and all that good stuff.
I do like one thing that kind of really brought things back for me. They had this one shot of a person doing spray painting on T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
That actually used to be a really huge thing back then. That these customized T-shirts that a lot of people were wearing, and people would do the spray paint art on them.
Are you talking about like airbrush T-shirts or?
Yeah, like airbrush. I'm spray paint, airbrush. Thank you, airbrush T-shirts. But it's like you could make these custom shirts, and there was people that walked around with like his and her shirts all the time.
I've seen kind of versions of that now, but not quite where they do it right in front of you.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really really cool, and that was really neat that they showed that aspect along with the people with mohawks, and the way that they dressed.
The super punk style that was very popular at the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
very popular. Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
When I was your age.
Back in my day.
I used to have to wind up cassette tapes with a pencil.
And now
I did wind up cassette tapes with a pencil.
I know. I've had to do
Come
it too.
on, when this thing comes out the wrong way.
Everyone's had one of those things spool out on them at least a couple times.
Oh my god, I hate that when it does it right in the tape
You're like,
deck. You're like, ah!
yeah, I remember when I was like a really young tot, back in like my mom's old office where my grandpa used to live. All of my like Disney movies would be on like cassette tapes and like VHS tapes and all that good stuff. Those motherfuckers suck to rewind. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. 'Cause you have to wait for them to rewind and everything.
Yeah. And there are really old tapes too, so it took like forever. Like, dude, I just want to watch The Lone Ranger. Like, please leave me be.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind, rewind. Oh my god. VHS.
Like, damn, I just want to watch The Lone Ranger. Like, I can't wait for this bullshit no more.
Yeah.
We used to have to go to the video store, and you could call and like request them to hold a videotape for you.
I honestly really miss video stores. I like being able to go out like and directly just physically pick out a film.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun. I mean, it's so much different nowadays, but it was fun. You got to see the. I like looking at the artwork on the actual tape.
Yeah.
On the,
Yeah,
you know, like
it was all like unique and creative.
Well, it was something tactile. You could pick it up and you could look at it, and
That's why I still collect physical media like that. Is I'm not a giant fan of streaming. We've never had very good internet here. I like seeing the actual artwork that they put on the front of it. I like actually physically having it. I can just put it in any time. I like physical media. I don't like the fact that they're trying to do away with it.
As long as it's not Corona Zombies, honey.
Oh God, that's just a little quick excerpt on that. We recently watched the.
No, we didn't even watch. We couldn't even finish it.
It's the only film that we've ever had to turn off. It's called Corona Zombies.
what?
And the reason we did not like it so much, the only original footage in the entire film is these short little excerpts of this girl named Barbie like talking about it. It's exploitative, and not in the fun way. It's different pieces of movies that one of them is owned by the studio, but the other one I don't think is owned by the studio. Frankenstein together, dubbed over poorly, with no storyline. It's a mess, and I'm not even sure how they're able to sell it as its own movie, given like 90% of the film is other films.
Other films.
So what did somebody do? Make it in their garage
Something
or something?
like that.
Oh my god!
It probably had like
They got a trailer.
maybe $100 maybe, because nothing was really done.
Wow.
It was awful.
I'm glad I didn't watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
At first, I thought that the poor dubbing was done for like a joke, but that's the film.
It just really sucks.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Corona Zombies was not fun to watch. We won't be doing its own episode on it, of course, but I just kind of wanted to mention it.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that I'll ever be able to talk about that movie because A, we didn't finish, and also just there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
However, The Car, that was good. We needed to actually watch a legit good movie after that, just plague our brains with what the hell we witnessed.
Yeah.
so it was like based off COVID-19, like the coronavirus.
I think so, yeah.
Velocipaster, another low budget film, was great. It was.
That was actually so fucking funny. I love Velocipaster.
We really ought to. Have we done an episode on that one?
Velocipaster? God, no, we haven't.
You guys have to.
We have to do that next.
That you guys have to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a Jerick
I don't
invite
ever watch that
episode
movie.
there. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely not watch the Corona Zombies. Thank you for fielding that one for me, you guys.
Yeah.
yeah, it's so boring. It's so boring. It's dumb and it's just a stealing artwork. We don't stand that, Sam.
It quite literally has a 2.5 rating on IMDb.
I'm surprised it even has a rating.
Yeah, Corona Zombies. Yeah, their shoes are way too sus to walk in.
I'm just honestly astounded that they were able to put that much other film here. It
Yeah.
just feels so lazy.
Yeah. Oh, not to get on that track, but I just read something I thought it was really interesting. Apparently, Ben Stiller, yes, that Ben Stiller, actually auditioned in Lost Boys to be one of the vampires. That's really interesting. That
I see him as an actor for that.
good work.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't see it. I don't know. I like the cast who they have now.
Yeah, I could never. I
can't picture him.
Ben. I can't picture Ben Stiller in any of those roles. What? Do
Yeah.
you know what role he tried out for?
Let me see. No, it just says Schumacher said that he and legendary casting director Marion Doherty sat through lots of auditions with hopeful young actors before finding the final cast. According to Ben Stiller, he was one of those fresh faces. People reported that the 2010 Hollywood Life Young Hollywood Awards, Stiller said, "The last time I saw a room full of so many talented faces when I auditioned for The Lost Boys. It was between me and Kiefer and the two Coreys. It is unclear whether or not Stiller was joking about the audition, but he is the same age as the star, so it's feasible that he and several other now famous actors answered that mid-1980s casting call."
Yeah, I cannot picture Ben Stiller in any of those.
No, for sure. God. I mean, he was, this is, the same guy this is the guy that's been, like, in, Night at the Museum, He was in in what was his Zoolander. Yes, thank you. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Tropic Thunder.
He was in like
Really? Who is he? Megamind.
Dodgeball. I think he was in Madagascar. He was in Madagascar. Yeah, Megamind. He was in Megamind. He was in,
Ah,
I believe he was the God, he was one of the Bernard. He was Bernard.
what?
My eyeballs were floating.
Bernard.
I have to stay hydrated.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
kicking back on me. Strike a pose or whatever.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel that Derek Zoolander would not fit as a Lost Boy. I just don't see it. You know.
I think Kiefer Sutherland carried the movie pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Like as the lead vampire, kind of, sort of.
He plays kind of weed asshole characters quite well.
He's really good at that.
Like he was the main bully in The Body, not The Body, Stand By
Oh,
Me. So
he
The
is
Body is
phenomenal.
the book that's based off of.
Yes. Isn't it just a small little type of book?
It's a little
Novelette.
It's a little novelette that Stephen King wrote. It was a part of a big anthology.
That was neat. But yeah, he's done a lot, like Flatliners. He's done Western. What is it? What was the Western he did? He did.
Was he in a western?
Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland. David. What was that?
Oh, he was also Zoolander. Zoolander 2 specifically.
Oh, he was in I'm trying to think of it.
It was a Western.
Oh yeah, he was in
I think he was in a
24.
Western.
I think
Apparently he was also in
Western?
Marmaduke as Bosco.
Um,
He's been in a surprising amount of video games, and also was the narrator in Family Guy for a episode. Yeah, I'm surprised with the amount of voice acting he seems to have done.
God, what was the name of that movie? Because it has.
Oh my God, he was in Monsters vs. Aliens.
Sheens in it.
Yeah.
Which movie is it?
Maybe I might be thinking of the wrong one. But the
Forsaken. Yeah.
I wonder if I'm thinking of the wrong one.
Maybe.
The only one I could find under his name is a movie called Forsaken that was made back in 2015.
I'm looking here. Young Guns.
Young Guns.
That's it. Young Guns. So I was right. Okay, cool. Cool. A Few Good Men. Didn't see Mirrors.
Young Guns.
But yeah, Young Guns was a really good one he was in. Flatliners.
Apparently he was in a 2011 film called Night of the Living Carrots.
What in the sand hell?
Just sounds hilarious. I don't know what that is, but that sounds funny. Wow. Apparently he's also had a role as the voice of
That's funny.
of Snake in several Metal Gear games.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's been Classic Snake, Medic. He was the voice of Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 5. And the most recent one, he was Big Boss, Medic, and Venom Snake.
Really?
I don't know how I never knew he did a lot of voice acting. He's been in several Call of Duty games. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
He's British? And I never knew he was British.
Damn. Look
He's
at him
British.
He's from London. He hides his accent very well.
go. Damn. Look at him go. Wow.
I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I think we've hit all the points that we wanted to discuss.
Wow.
But we'd have to watch
Yeah,
number 2 and 3.
I don't know if I have anything else to talk
We gotta
about. I
watch
think
that.
I
Absolutely.
hit all my nails. Yeah.
Agreed. Me too.
Yes. Absolutely. We will do that. I'm excited because I loved this movie so much. I was entertained from start to finish.
Absolutely. Amazing cinematography, makeup, all the work.
Everything. And I do have to put a shout out to my brother Armin because he's the one that got me into liking this movie. So I have to
Mr.
do that.
Cabana.
Yeah. He's heavily into movies and he told me that this one was a good one and we watched it together and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Of course. The good movies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Always count on Uncle Armin, for the good movies, the good movie recommendations.
I think I'm all good.
I think we're good. I think we are really, really good, and I appreciate you guys having me as a guest. It's an honor. Of course, and I can't wait to talk about more horror movies. So if you ever around,
Yeah, anytime you want to join in, just feel free.
absolutely. We got to talk about like Exorcist, Exorcist Heretic,
I haven't seen that one yet.
Constantine.
Constantine's
Yes. Oh my boy, Keanu, yes.
Yes, Constantine is.
Oh, I
I'll
could
rewatch
talk about
that.
him for hours.
They're coming out with another one, supposedly.
Yeah.
I just don't know when. I think it's with Keanu. He is in the movie.
Damn. But man, if there was one man that I could talk hours about, oh god, it's Keanu Reeves. That man is the myth, the legend. He is the goat. He is the goat.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he is the goat. He is the goat, big time. I'm right there with you. If we ever want to have an episode, man, I've got all kinds of trivia. I'm stuck chock full to the brim.
Yeah, he is the man. Like, I don't usually have like a celebrity crush. Like, oh, I don't have a celebrity crush. The only man, Keanu Reeves. He is the goat. He is the man. I love him so much. He's awesome. But yeah, I have seen Constantine. I actually really like it.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he is awesome.
It's a good movie. I love it.
All right.
Constantine is it's an amazing. I like it. I like all of the elements in it. I like what is it? Tilda something or other. She plays Michael Swinton. Tilda Swinton, awesome actress. Just I really like her look. I like how she is. I just like her. Period. And I think she was in a Marvel movie too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. She's so awesome. She was the oh my god, what's her name? Oh, like she was kind of like I can't remember the name specifically of the character, but she was like kind of like the head of the actual like kind of like magic organization thing. She was also the queen in Narnia. I love Narnia.
Oh
that
yeah,
master,
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I like her a lot. So yeah, if we ever want to do episodes on those, where
Yeah, I love Narnia. I love Doctor Strange. There's another movie that I saw her and I can't remember what the fuck it was. Damn, what was it? I can't remember. Damn.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. But Yeah, no, I can't think of it. But I'm sure it'll hit after I end record.
Oh, and Hellboy.
All right.
All the Hellboys too. Those are.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are such good movies.
With that all being
Ron
said,
Perlman.
I think that's about everything we have to say about the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wrapping it
Well,
up.
Yep.
we wrapping it up.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We
Thank
appreciate it as always. Look forward to some more movie talk in the future. Who knows what journeys we'll explore next time. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And that's the glory of it all. You
Absolutely.
never know. It's a mystery. Until next time.
From the
All
Frog
right.
Boys.
Oh yeah.
The mystery of the Frog Boys. Ribbit it. We're gonna ribbit it into the next episode. That's so bad. That was so bad. Yo.
That being said, I hope everyone's having a good night, good day, wherever you are, whatever it is. Hope you all stay
James,
spooky.
remember. You have to do it funny. Funny.
Are you talking about that stupid voice I was doing earlier?
Yes. You know, hey, you think that I was gonna forget that fast? Never.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
All right, friends, stay spooky.